Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Mike Francesa podcast, part of the Bet Rivers Network. We come to you after Game 1 as the Yankees fall to the Red Sox in what is a very tough game and puts the Yankees already right where they don't want to be, squarely facing elimination the next two nights, hopefully the next two nights at Yankee Stadium. Tomorrow, the Yanks need to win. Thursday, they need to win. We'll get to that in a second. Let's get to game one. First, let me make a couple of statements. I told you all along that I did not like the Red Sox against the Yankees. I did not want to face the Red Sox. I wanted to see the series, but I knew that the Red Sox were a bad matchup for the Yankees. And I heard in places the last couple of days how the Yankees were going to romp over the Red Sox. I didn't understand it because the Red Sox present some problems to the Yankees, and every one of those clicked tonight. Number one, they have a better manager. Number two, they have a better bullpen. Number three, they have a tremendous starting pitcher, and he was utterly brilliant, old school tonight. And number four, their speed puts pressure on the Yankees, and it did again tonight. One of the biggest plays of the game was the single being stretched to a double because they know they can run on Judge. Judge is in the outfield. He's not DH because they want to get Stanton in the game. And Judge, they know they can run on him. They know they can run. They ran on Grisham earlier in the game. They're going to run the bases whenever they can. Okay. Fried's good at holding people on. And they're going to run on Judge. And that turned out to be a huge play in the game. Okay. This was a game where they were better in key spots, and it turned out to be the difference in the game. First of all, Cora is a tremendous manager. Boone, when he matched up against Cora, is always one step behind. And Cora was like a cat waiting to get freed out of that game and then ready to jump, ready to pounce. And as soon as he did, boom, 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 before you know it, he's got the lead. I told you all along, when you guys were all killing Volpe, and I'm not telling you Volpe is the greatest thing in the world, but when you guys were all killing Volpe, I said this to you. Volpe is not going to be the reason why you lose. Worry about the bullpen. I have been worried about two things with this Yankee team all year. Number one, they can't beat good teams, and that continues. And they didn't prove that in the last 13 games when they played nothing but losing teams. Number two, this bullpen has been unreliable all year, and Boone played right into the bullpen again tonight. Why can't Fried, who is your ace, who you gave $240 million, who has great postseason experience, who was dealing tonight, why can't he get the bottom of the order out in the seventh and complete that inning? Why does he have to come out of the game? Why? Because he had a 10-pitch at bat to the catcher who walked? He got out of it with a double play. He'd only thrown 102 pitches. He could get the eighth and ninth hitters. Until he showed you he was done, until he at least gave up a base runner, let him stay in the game. I'm not asking him to pitch the eighth inning, but let him complete the seventh inning. Get every out you can out of Fried because he's your best pitcher. He's better than anything you have in that bullpen. And what happens? Weaver comes in and walks a guy who doesn't want to walk on a 10-pitch at bat, has him 0-2, and walks him. And then base hit, and next thing you know, the Yankees are down. Now, the game took on a lot of twists and turns after that, okay? And one of the things, and I just watched the press conference, one of the things that I had a problem with, and they didn't even bring up, is after Story gets a single and steals second, you knew he would, and they almost threw him out, but he got in there safely. Why are you pitching to Bregman there? The guy has been a gamer his whole life. He's been a stone winner. He's been a Yankee killer. He's been a big game player. Why would you let him? I said to people, I'm watching it with my wife, I said, this guy's going to get a base hit and make it 3-1. Why would you pitch to him there? Why? Because you're worried about Weaver, who's better to lefties against Lowe? If you're worried about that, then bring in the lefty to face him, which it did anyway. Don't let Bregman beat you there. And that run was huge because it changed the mentality of the bottom of the ninth. And last year, Stanton was heroic, but tonight Stanton killed them. because he had the 2 key at bats in the game. In the first inning, where you always can get a good pitcher, and tonight they faced a great pitcher. And it was an honor to watch him operate tonight. He was like an old school horse out there on the mound. That was an incredible pitch. Fried was good. Crochet was amazing. I understand he gave up a home run to Volpe, who had 2 hits tonight and was the toughest at bat for him this evening. I understand that. But he did an incredible job. The middle of the game, after the Volpe homer, retiring all those batters, one after another, after another, after another, and they got him out at the right time, and Cora showed you how good he is because he pinned Rice to the bench. He wasn't going to go to the righty in the 8th. He didn't want to go to Chapman and have him sit down in between the 8th and 9th inning. He didn't want him to do that. And that bothered Chapman. There's no question. And that bothers a lot of relievers. They also don't want to come into dirty innings. The only thing he did wrong was he should have told Chapman, with Volpe on first base, ignore him. He's not there. When he pitched to the one batter he was going to face in the 8th, a guy who he should get out. And he did get him out. But it was a struggle. And he let Volpe bother him a lot, as a matter of fact, and distract him. He should have told him, hey, let him steal second, just throw strikes and get out of this inning. Eventually, he gets out of the inning anyway. And then the 9th inning happens, and again, it comes down. Stanton cannot be unproductive in that at-bat. The Yankees have to score on that at-bat. Whether it's a sac fly and the runner tags up and goes to third, whether anything but the strikeout and the double play there. Anything but the strikeout and the double play. And it turned out to be the pivotal at bat because not only did it set up the inning, but it gave Chapman a release. It gave him confidence, and he knew he only had to get 2 lefties out. He just couldn't walk anybody. And this Chapman doesn't walk people like he used to. He used to lose them. In the old days, he would have lost the plate. He would have been out of that game. And give Cora credit, he never even let anybody warm up. He basically told Chapman, it's your game, because he wanted to pin Rice to the bench. That was his plan all along, to pin Rice to the bench and not unleash any of those lefties, and make sure that he had the matchups that he wanted, especially against Grisham, who had a very tough night tonight because he was facing tough, hard-throwing, strikeout lefties all night. Lefties can have those nights. That's impossible for a lot of lefties to hit those guys. Bellinger's good against lefties. We know that. But the bottom line is, that Chapman's got a big advantage against left-handers in those spots. He really does. And once he got Stanton out, you knew he had a chance on the fly ball. Even if they tag up there, he only needs one more out. But a guy has a terrific arm. They didn't try it, which was the right play. The wrong play from Boone tonight was not letting Fried pitch the rest of the 7th inning. Give him a chance to finish that inning. Don't be so quick to a bullpen that's not been good all year. And then don't pitch to Bregman in the 9th inning with 2 outs and the base open. Come on. Don't let their one gamer, their one big, proven big game bat beat you and add on there. And that run was huge in the scheme of things. Absolutely huge. And the bullpen didn't do the job again. And that bullpen has been like that all year. You can't count on it. So this was a bad game from a lot of standpoints. It really was. You were 8 outs away and couldn't get the job done. You had the bases loaded and no out, and you couldn't get that hit that you needed. Yes, you're facing a premier reliever. And Chapman this year, giving up those 3 hits, he went into this tonight. He'd only allowed like 28 hits and 60-some-odd innings. I mean, that's outrageous. He's had a great year, and he's had good control, which is something at times he would lose in the past. Fried did his job. He did a terrific job. In the old days, you would have taken Andy out in that spot. Yeah, but you had a great pen. backed by the greatest reliever of all time. They don't have that now. Don't be so quick to take your ace off the mound. He could listen, if he tells you he's shot, fine. If they rocket a ball off him or they get a base hit, fine. They hadn't done any of that. It was a ground ball to first base. And you're telling me he couldn't have got out the 8th and 9th hitters in those spots? I mean, come on. Not a good game from the manager. Not a clutch game when they needed it. As far as Judge and his postseason stuff, hey, Judge didn't break the game open tonight. Crochet was not afraid of him. I mean, he went after him all night. Judge had a 3-1 pitch that he just missed. The cutter, it happens. Hey, you got a base hit in the first inning. You got a base hit in the 9th inning. I understand he didn't get a long hit. He didn't break the game open, but he didn't have a bad game tonight, so it's not on him. It's not on him. Volpe was taking all kinds of abuse, had good at-bats tonight, had 2 hits, had the home run. Good for him. People get off his back a little bit. But the Yankees had the same weaknesses they've had all year. They are not good in tight games. They are not good against winning teams. They are not good in the pen or reliable in the pen when they need to be. That has hampered this team all year. And to me, I understand they finished the season with 8 wins and 11 of 13 and whatever it was, 27 of their last 40, whatever the heck it was. They obviously won a lot of games down the stretch, but they also faced an easy schedule. The last 13 games against losing teams, and they took advantage of that. I don't believe this is the best team that Boone's had. I think it's debatable, but it's not automatic. I don't trust this bullpen at all. Does this team have power? Yeah, tonight, the Red Sox in the starting lineup. And when you see a team in the playoffs with the 3 guys in the outfield batting in the bottom of the order, you never see that. Their starting outfielders had 34 home runs. Obviously, they don't have Roman Anthony. And they haven't played well since they lost Roman Anthony. 34 home runs out of their starting outfield tonight. The Yankees had 116 out of their starting outfield. I mean, that's overwhelming. The Yankees hit 1 million home runs, over 270. Out-homing anybody by more than, I think, over 30 for the season. We know how much power they have. But they were facing a pitcher tonight who can shut down anybody. And he's now faced the Yankees 5 times this year. And he's 4-0 against them. 4-0. And tonight's performance was utterly brilliant. Nothing short. Utterly brilliant. He was on the short end for a long time of a 1-0 game, but he outpitched Fried. Fried walked guys, gave up some hits. He did not get hit hard. And the one ball Volpe hit was harder than anything that Fried gave up, no question. But he didn't walk a batter. He retired 16 batters in a row after the Volpe home run. His strikeouts, his last pitch was 100 miles an hour. Threw 116, 117 pitches, whatever it was. I mean, that was, from Crochet, that was an utterly brilliant performance. And it was a heck of a baseball game. But it showed you the weaknesses the Yankees have had all year. And I'll tell you this, in these kind of games, tight games, you got Boone on one side and Cora on the other side. Give me Cora every day of the week and twice on Sunday. He is a terrific manager. And he is ready to pounce. And they are a team that will use their legs to expose the Yankees. And right now, the Yankees, Judge and Wright, they're going to run on anything he does. He can't make a big throw. There's no way. And they're going to take the extra base, and they're going to take the base, and they're going to make him throw the ball, and that's the bottom line. But you got to put him out there, even though he can't throw the ball right now, because you got to get Judge in, you got to get Stanton in the lineup. And I know for Stanton tonight, it was a tough night. Okay, he struck out twice. He hit into a double play. He left guys on base. I understand that. He didn't get to hit. I'm sure he's, very disappointed with this evening. But he has been there a million times before, and I wouldn't be surprised if he bounced back. Now, with all that said, the Yankees can still win this series. I've never been a big Rodon fan, but I got to admit he's pitched very well. He's pitched very well. I don't trust the bullpen as far as I can throw it. I haven't all year. Yankees got to Bayo last time. He had pitched very well against them before that. They got to go to him. They don't have a game 3 starter even named. Giolito's gone. So if it gets to a game 3, clearly advantage Yankees. But any one of these games that turns into a bullpen game, advantage Red Sox. And tight games, advantage Red Sox. Because their manager's, I'm sorry, he's a superior manager. And I don't trust this pen. And if I'm Boone, I don't play to accentuate this pen. Don't rush to go to this pen if your starter is dealing. And that goes for Rodon tomorrow night if he's dealing. I mean, Rodon, I believe, is the lowest batting average against of all the starters in baseball this year, or at least in the American League. He might be for all of baseball, for the starting pitchers. I mean, he has pitched exceedingly well, and he's pitched very well down the stretch. If you can ride him, ride him. Just like he rode his horse tonight, and he did it because he wanted to go left and left, because he wanted to accentuate, he wanted to harness the Yankees' left-handed power. That's managing. Don't open the door so that they can run through with their positives. That's exactly what the Red Sox did in the 9th-inning with Bregman. Don't let him beat you there. Ah, that's so bad. So bad. It was such a bad move. Made no sense. Absolutely no sense. And it was a factor in how everything played out. And the Yankees gave it a good fight in the 9th. I didn't expect them to do that well against Chapman, and they did. I think Chapman pitching in the 8th and then sitting down and having to come back bothered him. I think it took him a while to get himself and his stride. Give Chapman credit for getting out of that jam. I mean, he looked out there and no one was warming up. He knew it was him. And he got Stanton. Bases loaded, no out. Stanton's wrecked a lot of games. Could have hit a ball up the gap there, or hit one off out of into the upper deck. I mean, we all know he's capable. He didn't do it. And then obviously the lefties are going to have a hard time getting good swings on someone like Chapman. And he made tough pitches to them. No question. Tough loss. Is all loss? No. Am I buying into this enormous record of, teams that win the first game? Well, of course, teams that win the first game are going to have a high percentage in a best-of-3 series, because if you win 2 games in a row, it's over. So that's obviously the case. But the bottom line is this series is still winnable. The games are at Yankee Stadium. They don't have a game 3 pitcher. You have the pitching edge in game 2, and you're home. And their closer, he pushed it tonight. Let me see how many pitches he threw. I mean, he had to throw over 30 pitches combined in the game tonight, I would think, for sure. I got to figure Chapman threw over 30 pitches, which could render him, I don't know, he is a very strong guy and in phenomenal shape, but I got to figure that might render him, no good for tomorrow. I mean, we have to wait till tomorrow to see that, but let's see how many pitches he wound up throwing. He threw 24 pitches. All right, that's borderline. Even though he warmed up, he only threw 24. I thought it was going to be more. 24 pitches. Crochet threw 117 pitches, 78 strikes, no walks, 11 strikeouts. Just 4 hits. 2 of them by Volpe. And Chapman, of course, did not walk anybody, which was critical. And I don't know if it was a noise or exuberance, but those 2 Red Sox, remember, Rafael is a really good center fielder, and the right fielder is very good too, but that they had in the game then. But that could have been an insanely bad collision, both physically and the result in the game, because that ball could have gone anywhere if they had hit, because they were moving fast. And I was shocked. I don't know what went on exactly there. I'd like to ask both of them, but that was crazy. I mean, the center fielder was camped out to catch it, and the right fielder comes flying by. That could have been an utter disaster in the bottom of the 8th inning. It wasn't, but boy, that was a very, very close call. And there was clearly something that was not good there. So I thought the crowd tonight was very lively from the get-go, right from the first inning on. They got to see a terrific baseball game. 2 pitches doing what they do best. A lot of things back and forth, plenty of drama. Really terrific baseball game, unless you lose it. And when you lose it, it's a tough one. And now the Yankees have to win back-to-back games or face a brutal offseason. And to go out right now against the Red Sox team that's on the road, against the Red Sox team that just lost its number 3 starter and lost its best player or second best player. Maybe Bregman's still better, but Roman Anthony's going to be a big-time player. And they haven't played well since he went out of the lineup. They're shorthanded. And if they win this series, it will be a devastating blow for the Yankees. And I would think there would be some repercussions off it. So there's a lot of drama, a lot of pressure, a lot of tension that will go into these next 2 games. Hopefully 2. Could be 1. But tomorrow, and then if they can win tomorrow, which they have to be favored to do, try to go out and win a game that, I don't know, could be a bullpen game for the Red Sox for all I know. I don't know what the Red Sox are going to do with that game. I'm sure they're not even going to think about it because they're going to think that, hey, we're going to win it tomorrow. We're going to be positive about winning it tomorrow. I'm sure they're going to pull out all the stops to try and win it tomorrow. If they get a lead, they're going to do everything they can to pull out that game and win it tomorrow because obviously they're going to be at a disadvantage in game at number 3 at Yankee Stadium and without a bona fide starting pitcher that they can count on. But tonight was every reason why I thought the Red Sox were an extremely dangerous matchup. First of all, in best of 3s, it's always dangerous. Secondly, having a Crochet who has been a brilliant pitcher and in most years would be a Cy Young Award winner. I don't know if he's going to get it or Skubal's going to get it. I don't know what's going to happen there, but the bottom line is, Fried's a candidate, but Crochet's got better numbers than Fried. He does. 1 less win, but he's got better numbers. Skubal, who pitched brilliantly today and struck out 14 and pitched a brilliant game in winning 2-1 over the Indians, he might win it, and I have no problem if he does. If Crochet wins it, I got no problem if he wins it. He's had he's had a Cy Young type year. There's no question about it, and he was not good. He was sensational tonight. And all the things, the manager, their speed, their bullpen, their pitching, it all came home to roost tonight. And the Yankees' bullpen problems, which I have preached the entire season, reared its head again this evening. And Boone's got to be sharper in these tight games. That's all there is to it. He has to be. You can't make mistakes. And the only one that Cora made was I just thought he should have cautioned Chapman to ignore Volpe. And he didn't. And it could have cost him. Luckily for him, it didn't. But the Red Sox get game 1, and now the pressure's on. That's what October's about. It's about pressure. And the Yankees are going to face a bundle of it. And Boone and company are going to face a bundle of it in the next 2 days. At least first tomorrow. And then they hope they get to face the music on Thursday, because the alternative isn't pretty. Now, remember, sign up for the free Mike Francesa newsletter. You'll get exclusive content, contests, and offers. Go to MikeFrancesa'Podcast.com and sign up. Bet Rivers Football Squares players who place a qualifying same-game parlay of at least $10 on eligible NFL and NCAA football games will receive one standard entry into the weekly square game. You can get 2, you can get 3, you can get 4 based on the size of your wager. Winning standard squares will be awarded a prize of a $20 bonus bet. See app and website for more details, so check it out. Game 1 goes to the Sox. Terrific pitching matchup. Tough game to lose. An old friend comes out of the bullpen and somehow withstands the bases loaded, no out in the bottom of the 9th inning. That's October baseball. But now, for the Yankees and for Yankee fans, the pressure's on. We'll see you later.